So again, I thought I would maybe go through some solutions to maybe some common staging problems that you come across, just so maybe you've got some ideas working out there of some things that could maybe help you. Let's see. The first one I came across was there's so much going on, right? This is a gorgeous home, I'm sure. And do I think it's cool that you let your teenager come in and decorate? I mean, this is why people buy homes, right? They want privacy and they want personalization. They want to be able to hang a nail to put the dog collar on or the leash to take the dog out. I mean, this is why people own homes, is privacy and personalization. Those are two of the top reasons. So I appreciate this. I also want to wear sunglasses a little bit, right? I mean, I'm being dramatic. What I do think maybe could help this room is I've got a feeling that this room was actually professionally painted. So someone spent some bucks having someone come in and do that perfect cut in, right, at the wall. It's done really well. It's just so much. What I would consider with this is what can we do to neutralize it so there's not all this color happening? And I would say if someone does not want to change the color of the wall, let's neutralize everything else. Let's get surfaces cleaned off. Let's maybe see if that bedspread is a solid color. On the other side, white or black, for example, flip that over. Maybe look at getting that pattern off that top part of the curtains. And maybe again, it could just be turned around. Maybe it's white. That is something that could be a solid color. But in all of this going on and all of this color, I would say make it be the hot pink and the black and white, but let's take away maybe some pattern. That's not going to solve this for me totally, personally, but I do think it'll make a big difference in the photos. And again, like I said, here was my solution. You've got this kind of a weird gold color on the wall. Now, this color is probably going to fall under a category of neutral, believe it or not. But it is kind of that baby paste yellow, right? Baby food yellow, like what's going on here. And I think what happens very nicely is you've got solid colors. You've got a rug that does not have a lot of pattern to it. And that makes a difference for this. I think this actually looks very lovely. I think there's maybe a few things that they could add to those shelves, but otherwise they've done a very good job of the rest of it being neutral and bright white. Let's talk about visual weight. And I'm not sure what order, maybe the videos are happening for you as you're watching this, but I mentioned that when people buy furniture, they maybe buy it for a need. We need a king bed, and it's not really about whether it fits the room or not. You need a king bed. Or you measure for furniture and the square footage on the floor meets, but then you go to the store and the ceilings are tall and your perspective gets shifted because they've got 30 feet ceilings and you've got 8. So it's tough. And again, a lot of our clients are not visual people. Maybe you're not either. That's fine. When it comes to this visual weight and I look at this photo, I feel like the room is sliding to one side because it's got such heavy weight happening. Now, would I like to see that leather chair removed? Yes, of course, but maybe someone's nursing there. It's there out of functionality. But I would say to balance this out, flip that again. Maybe we just need to flip that comforter over. Maybe it's solid white or solid gray on the other side. That might help balance this out a little bit and help take care of the other nice light accessories there. Help make those pop as well. So again, we've just looked at removing excess furniture, maybe taking that photo at an angle versus straight onto the bed. And we've definitely seen where this makes for a lot lighter and brighter space. Oak. Okay, oak is oak. And some people love oak. Oak was a trend for a long time. I think depending on your market, though, it's maybe made a shift, and that's not what's in demand. The problem I see with oak is people get too oak happy. They put oak on top of oak on top of oak. One, I think depending on the color of the oak, there's probably a paint color that would better serve. I think based on whether you've seen this video or not in the course, you might have an idea of how I feel about things being on top of cabinets that don't necessarily belong there, but I understand people like to decorate. Do keep in mind some of the things I'm sharing. Again, they're opinions, things to think about to make the camera happy, or think about staging that you could maybe pay attention to and save the money of a stager, even though I think stagers are very helpful and definitely have a time and place. I'm coming to this from you not just as a real estate agent, as another licensed professional, to challenge you, have you think about things. I'm also coming to you from a design degree with an emphasis on interior design. So that's where some of this focus is coming to just maybe consider, again, we're back to almost kind of the theme of making the camera happy, right? My worry is that you put oak tables and floors and everything gets matchy is my worry. This is an idea of what I would say should go with this. I think a lot of times, again, in the other photo, we had oak cabinets. So we put a textured countertop, maybe laminate, that's got an oak kind of that honey color in it as a countertop. We buy an oak table, as I mentioned, with oak chairs. The best thing you can do for that oak table, if you've gotten too oaky, oak on top of oak on top of oak, do a nice white linen tablecloth with a white vase with white baby's breath coming out of it, just to break up that sea of oak. But what I do appreciate this is we've got some neutral things on the countertops. I think those white solid counters, having a chair there that, again, is not oak on top of oak, really helps a space, just as an example. Clutter. This room has a lot going on, And here's the tough thing. This is a solution that I'm calling balance, and having things be a little bit more streamlined. This is a tough one because people love their stuff and we all have a different relationship with it. And some people love to collect it and some people love to throw it away, and everything in between, right? And sometimes all of those people live under one house, under one roof, and we want to present the property and make everyone happy. When it comes to decluttering and suggesting that for your clients, my advice is to come from curiosity. I'm going to go back to this slide. This person, I would ask, tell me about these things. It looks like we've got a couple collections going on. Okay, 2 or 3 collections going on. I would maybe come from curiosity and just ask, tell me about these personal items. And then based on what they say, I know their temperature as to whether I can suggest they get packed up in order to balance the space out for photos, so that we're focusing on the elements that stay versus the elements that are personal and are going to go. If I come from curiosity and ask that, and they're like, oh, why? Oh my gosh, I love these things. You're going to maybe tread a little bit differently in that conversation and not just go in and say, you gotta pack up all your crap, right? We're not going to talk to a seller like that. I do recommend, though, that folks that have got some of these collections, they do start looking at packing things. Some of these collections, if it's got original packaging and boxes, does make it worth some money. So of course we want to respect that. But I really don't want things to get broken. I personally don't know of any listing I've ever had anything stolen, but I'm sure that someone listening to me right now, you've had a listing where something's gotten stolen, right? Whether it was either on purpose or a kiddo who just wanted to fill their pockets, and their hands just were a little busy during the listing, we'll say. I've not had that happen. I don't want to start. So I do think we owe our sellers possibly a conversation of, if they do have some valuables or some things, a collection, help them declutter and get to this balanced space. They're thinking about moving anyway, right? But again, I would go in with more questions than answers so that you can understand the relationship with their things, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. That definitely applies to our sellers, right? Again, it's all in an effort to help make their move simple. Vacant home. Now, this one is not totally vacant, yet I will say I would love to hang a photo on that wall, right? Is anyone else ready to hang a photo up? One solution I thought I would point out there are some programs out there for virtual staging. I know some of you that represent builders maybe do a stage model home. Maybe for others, it's not the model. Virtual staging, I've heard, has been a great solution. Personally, I have not used it, but I know a lot of agents, not necessarily in our market or in Iowa that I've met, but outside of our market, that have found it be a great solution. And here's why. It might seem like a vacant property would show better because people can put their own things in it. And then the entire class of photos that you're learning about today that I picked on aren't an issue, right? Because it's a blank canvas. But in reality, people are not naturally visual people. Have you ever had anyone go into a vacant home and wonder, does my bed fit here? Does my couch fit here? Do I think it makes sense for you to know the average size of a queen bed, I think, is 80 by 80 inches? Do I think it maybe helps for you to have a tape measure on hand in your car, just in case? Yeah, sure. But people are not naturally visual folks. So actually, homes that are lived in help them out a ton. We just don't want to be distracting. That's why I spent time with you in these videos for this course. Now, I use this virtual staging photo, I'll be honest, not because I think it's good, but because I wanted to show you what it could do. But if you are going to use a virtual staging program, please be careful. This one, I will say, I only know that it's virtually staged because things aren't at the right angle. This TV, excuse me, or whatever this photo is here above the fireplace, it's not at the same angle of the room, right? And you've really got to think about how a room angles, right? And it comes out at you in a photo is the best way to see it. You don't maybe realize it when you're in the room, but things actually start out small and come out big to you. And this room just doesn't quite understand the proportion or those angles. So someone had a great idea. It looks like they've got a foundation issue because the room is so slanted. I'm kidding. An agent was brave to use this. And again, I do know a few agents that are doing this. And I think it's a great idea. Just maybe practice on some things so that you understand angles and scale is all that I'm suggesting. I hope that this helped for a few common dilemmas that you might have when staging. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you.